Good evening, everyone. This is Avi Harkishan from AHcharts. I'm going to go over a few tickers here today. Let's start with the index. I'd like to start with VIX first of all. So, it's nothing new from yesterday because VIX is still at a critical level here, which is this support level from back here, which it found support again twice, broke down slightly, came back, found support, and now you're back at the same level again. So we're just watching this level, whether or not VIX is going to hold this level, is going to break down to 1462. So a key level here that we're watching for VIX is this 1562 again. If VIX continue to find support at this level, then you could see a move to the upside, and that move would probably be something that retest over here. So this sell zone right over here. So this is something that may retest the sell zone. If you break to the downside, then it will be this path over here that will play out. So not sure which path is going to play out. We're just still looking at both of them. Nobody knows for sure. So these are the two paths that I have right now, but you're at that support level here in VIX, which means the market could see a little bit of a pullback. Nothing major. If you see some upside on VIX, what I'm looking at is this 1676 to 1774 on VIX. So those are my two paths. Let's look at SPY. Overall, SPY is still trending to the upside, still bullish. Last time we got a buy signal was over here at 707 with our indicator puts out a buy signal over here. So now you're at we had targets above here, so we hit that target. So key support level for any pullback is 749. We're looking for on any pullback would be this 749 range over here. You start breaking below 749, then next level is 731. So still moving to the upside. Dips are still getting bought. Not chasing anything, but just my 2 cents here. Okay, so same for QQQ. You are, let me just pull this down. So you're in this uptrend rising wedge pattern, and you're touching, as you did over here, you're touching at the top of this trend line and this rising wedge. So being cautious overall, the market is still looking for more upside, but you're pretty much getting overbought, which is over here. If you see this line right here in QQQ, you're touching that line, which is right here, somewhere over here. You move up and then you get that drop. So you could see a pullback soon. Nobody knows when exactly, but you're at the top here. So you continue to move up and probably get that pullback or so. So dips are still getting bought. So any pullback, key level we're looking at for any kind of retest for a pullback would be 721 QQQ. So that's our pullback range, 721 right here. This is where we're looking for any kind of a pullback to retest this level and bounce again. So for IWM, let's take a look at IWM. IWM is still tracking for upside target, which is this 296 to 300 that we have. Filled this gap over here and is still moving to the upside. So we're watching for a breakout on IWM. The setup is there. It just needs to follow through. There it is. So we just need to follow through. Want to see this level here, 291 hold support. If we could get 291 to hold support, I think you could get a breakout towards this 296 to $300 area on IWM. So the setup is pretty solid. It's there. Just have to see follow through in IWM. Not recommend shorting IWM right now or anything, but you can see pullbacks. But these pullbacks are very short-lived because even in intraday, the pullbacks are getting bought. So you're better off not trying to short every what you may think is a top, but wait for the pullback and buy intraday if you're day trading. And your probability of coming out with a winning trade is better that way because the pullbacks just keep getting bought up. For GDX, so I like GDX here. I added to my position on GDX today at $88. Um, what I like on GDX is that this is our proprietary indicator we're using. It continued to hold this level here, our indicator, and you're at that level again. Every time you come down to this level, you broke it below, had a sideways move, and then you come back, and the indicator put out by signal twice, which is showing there has been some accumulation in GDX, which is way back here at $28. So now you're at that level again where you're coming back and you're retesting this band here, and I'm seeing some volume increasing. So that is why I added to our position, my position today, and hoping for either two case scenarios is going to play out. We're going to see a breakout to retest this $100 area, and this has been the bottom. We're going to see more upside. The bearish case scenario is a breakdown to come back into our blue box here to retest this 66.98 or $67 area. If you get this path play out, then this is my next buy zone for accumulation on GDX. So that's what I'm looking at right now. If we do break down, the next support level is going to be $79 area. So this is what I'm looking at for GDX. I added to my position on GDX today because I'm just going with the statistically speaking. This is where you tend to see a bounce. All right. And pretty much gold is doing the same thing here as well. So gold is at a key level, a retest level here, which is same thing for GDX, key retest level. So this was a resistance, came back right around this area here, and you retest this area. So you're at the same level here again. Gold is doing the same thing, and that's why I'm adding to gold as well. GDX, not adding gold, but GDX. Let's take a look at some stocks now. That's the overall market in terms of the ETFs, the indexes. All right, let's take a look at Apple. So going in yesterday's analysis we put out, I talked about Apple, and one of the things, let me see if I could find it here. What I was looking at for Apple is a retest of this level here for Apple. So I was looking for a retest if there's going to be a breakdown. Apple had a bearish close yesterday, and I said I want to see a retest of that 308, 309 area to see whether or not sellers are going to step back in. You don't want to short this move here. It looks bearish. It was a bearish move breaking down from a bear flag or rising wedge. A rising wedge it is. And we were looking for any kind of retest of this 309 area here to close this fair value gap and maybe continuous selling down to support at 297 where my buy zone is, which I'm going to come in and go long. That did not happen. That is why it's important to wait for retest. Sometimes have patience to see what's going to happen. You don't want to front run. That's how you lose money a lot of times. You have to, my trade plan is wait for that retest to see whether or not buyers are going to step in or sellers are going to step in and push the price down. Sellers did not step in. Apple had a pretty decent day to the upside. So I'm going to keep an eye on Apple to see whether or not it might be a good time to go long Apple for more upside here in Apple, because this is a bearish breakdown that got invalidated, and it did not follow through. Buyer stepped in, so you could continue to see more upside on Apple. And our target for Apple is going to be 334 to 340. That has been the target for Apple for some time now. I put it in Discord. Let me see if I could find it here. Okay, May 27th. This has been the target for Apple, which I posted in Discord. So I said expect to move to 334 to 340. Sometimes you got to ignore the noise, but this is your first profit target where you're going to be taking some profit, and you just hold for additional move to the upside. So that was a trade plan. So far so good. Next move, I think you're going to be coming up here for Apple, very likely. But you want to see a hold of this 306 area. You want to see a hold of this area, continue to move to the upside. That's for Apple. AMD looks like it wants to continue to push to the upside again. This is not one I'm trading, but looks like it wants to continue to move to the upside. Amazon is currently retesting this key level here, which I am currently watching to see what Amazon is going to do. I want to see a retest and hold of this level here. If Amazon failed to hold 350, you have some gaps here that Amazon could fill. And if Amazon come down and fill these gaps over here, I will be possibly looking to buy Amazon at these levels, because you will be correcting this entire move from the bottom here. You're correcting this entire move here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're looking for a fifth wave to the upside. If that does not happen, then the fifth wave is in over here, and therefore this is going to be the third wave. Third somewhere here, maybe a third wave, pull back, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So we'll make that adjustment if Amazon start breaking wave 4. If Amazon start to break wave 4, which is this level over here, it's wave 5 is in over here, and this here was a wave 3. Wave 4, wave 5, and then you have A, B, and C, and that will play out like this. A, B, C, and you'll have a move down over here. A, B, C. There you go. You fill that gap. And if this happens, this is your buy zone. But right now, on the 4-hour, you're currently testing this band, which you could see a possible bounce at this area. So we're still watching. There's no confirmation. Amazon has not broken below this level yet. So I'm still watching to see if Amazon is going to do that. You can always see Amazon. If Amazon is going to play out this path, you can see Amazon come back over here, bounce, and drop as well. So there's a couple possibilities Amazon could do. So still watching Amazon to see what it's going to do. Let's take a look at Google. Google is within our target range, which is this first gap I was looking at for Google. But I'm not accumulating Google yet. I want to see whether or not Google is going to find some support here and move back up. More bearish case scenario for Google is same thing with Amazon pretty much, is if Google could have a double correction and come back over here. So this is a possibility for Google as well. So I'm currently watching. So if Google come back here, that's your buy zone. So if you see these moves start happening where you're seeing a bigger pullback with the tech, I expect a bigger pullback with the indexes as well to correct this bottom here. And what you're going to see happen is if this play out, then you're going to see this band over here starts to catch up. You're going to see this band starts to catch up and price come back, retest this level here, a weekly resistance level at 330, and start moving again. And you correct this entire move to start moving back up again. So that is something I'm watching for. Nobody knows exactly what the market is going to do, but we're watching those levels. So please mark those levels in your chart. Have a trade plan ready so that you are ready to execute. Please, you don't need a babysitter. You're adults. Think like traders. Have a plan. These are the key levels. Have scenarios that could play out on a chart, because nobody knows exactly which way a chart is going to go or price is going to go. NVIDIA. So what I'm looking for NVIDIA here is that NVIDIA had a nice breakout. So I'm watching to see whether or not NVIDIA can sustain this breakout, or you're going to break to downside. Bullish case scenario for NVIDIA is that is going to break out, you're just going to retest and you're going to start pushing to the upside again. That's the bullish case. Bearish case for NVIDIA is this here is going to be another same thing with Amazon correction, and you come down all the way to bottom here and potentially fill this gap here. And this here would be your buy zone because you're correcting this bottom here at 163. Again, if this is the case, the entire market is going to have to pull back a little bit. So that's what I'm watching here. There's no telling what it's going to do. But key level we're watching for Amazon, NVIDIA, is this level over here. Whether or not Amazon has come back, find some support over here, and start pushing back up or not. So that will be 212 support, somewhere around this area here. We're watching for what NVIDIA is going to do. For Tesla, had this level yesterday for Tesla. I was watching to see whether or not Tesla is going to break more to the downside. So what I'm watching for Tesla bounced at this level here. So there's two ways Tesla could play out. Is that this here was a fake out, breaking below the parallel range, get a lot of people to panic sell. And this here, you're in wave 5, and this was just a wave. Let me just, this here was just a wave. And within wave 5, this was a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you start pushing to the upside. That's the bullish case scenario. Nobody knows for sure how it's going to play out. A bearish case scenario. Let me remove this for a sec. A bearish case scenario would be you're having another correction that comes back to the bottom here. This here would be a bearish case scenario. We're not calling this one. I'm just saying this is a possibility. The market would have to have another major correction, and we're not seeing that play out yet. The other thing, this is going to be an A, B, and C instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So still watching. We're going to go, I'm going to stay in neutral here. Not going to really call anything, but not recommend shorting Tesla either, because you could Tesla continue to see upside here. And this was just wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is still a possibility, right? So keep that in mind. It's the same thing you have here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see the same thing play out here again. So I'm not recommend shorting Tesla, though there is a bearish case, a bear thesis for Tesla, where you come back down even and retest this level here. So this is like a bear case. The XWXY, that's like a bear case. We're not calling that one. The alternative is you come down and you retest anywhere between 382 to 367 to correct this entire move here that we had. So it will correct this move, and your buy zone would be between 382 to 367. And that's where like Amazon, and you have Google, NVIDIA, all of that just corrected their impulse move from back here in April. So if you're long Tesla and you're holding Tesla in your long-term position, stay long and just buy the dips in Tesla, because overall I think Tesla is going to go higher long term. It's going to go past $500 long term anyways. Just buy the dip. So the first dip was over here. Bearish case scenario is that you come down here. 3, 4, 5 wave move. And this would be our next blue box target range where you buy Tesla in a bear case scenario. If not, this is your first buy zone until you move up and you start correcting this entire move again. That's for Tesla. Two ways this could play out. Bitcoin, we've been talking about Bitcoin for a long time. Um, it's breaking from this bear flag. The next area we're looking at is this area for any sort of bounce. If not, it's going to play out the way it did up here. You see these break, 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 and you continue to trend to the downside. My target for Tesla, not Tesla, Bitcoin, is within 53,000 to 49,000. You can see this play out here where you continue to break to the downside, and you have this play out right over here, 50,000. That's our target for Bitcoin if you start breaking $60,000. So you have to break 60. If Bitcoin breaks 60, you're coming down to this level over here. Let's see if there's something else where you can. Okay. For coin, I'm still looking at coin. You have that rising wedge pattern forming, and you can see some downside for coin. If Bitcoin start moving more to the downside, I think you could see a bit more selling on coin. So just watch for coin. Okay, let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft has bottomed. We had our blue box here from Microsoft. So within our blue box, Microsoft came down. Our blue box has like a 73% chance or probability of price bouncing off of that blue box. So when I put a blue box, there's a very high probability of price bouncing off of those levels. That was our target on Microsoft, and we bounce about 30%. So what we're looking for, key level here for Microsoft, is this 468, which you came up and you saw some rejection. Now, what I will be looking for on Microsoft is any kind of rejection that's coming back down and retest to correct this entire move here. If you're looking to buy Microsoft in your long-term portfolio, if we could see a move that come back down and retest this 411 area, and around this 411 area, that might be a good buy. There's a gap here, so you could always come back down and fill that gap as well too. But overall, I think the downside move on Microsoft has been completed, and buying at a discount on your long-term portfolio will be a pretty good deal. Let's see what else I got. Okay, for Meta, I think Meta is going to see some downside here. I think the entire Meta has also corrected its I've seen as downside. What I think Meta is doing next is you have some sell zone over here, which you saw that rejection, and there's a gap the Meta is going to fill. I think Meta is going to see an ABC correction, and the next target zone we have for Meta is this gap here at 540 all the way down to 507. So your long entry, if you're looking to buy the dip on Meta, would be somewhere within our indicator call buy right over here, where it says, okay, that's your selling climax right over here, and it was like really perfect. So I call that one. And even over here at Euphoria too, we call that one. So some of them, it gets a lot of them correct when there's some downside. So we're looking to buy Meta within this range here. So I think you could see an A, B, C. I think that's what Meta is going to do. And 541 area filling this gap would be the first target we're looking at for Meta. Let's see for Hood. I think Hood looks pretty good overall. Nothing new from my analysis yesterday in Hood. Hood is just look at VPA. pretty good volume price analysis. If you're reading that, sell zone is right over here, which you're seeing some rejection. But look at the volume and rejection, nothing much. So what we could see is a retest of this area over here and a breakout on hood. If we get a breakout on hood, that's gonna be it's probably a violent breakout, matter of fact, because you're building out in this area over here, and you could see a violent breakout on hood. This is the accumulation range right over here, and you're gonna see a breakout of 122, if anything, right over here. So still bullish in hood. I'm currently long hood. Let's look at AMC. Still think AMC could probably move up to 260 area, up to $4, back within this range and correct this. So AMC has been seeing selling consistently against our band. This is just telling you where selling takes place. AMC was um, it was not unable to break above and hold this level for a very long time since it broke down. Came up slightly and got rejected. So this is a major area that AMC is at right now. This is one of the most critical level that AMC is currently seeing. So one thing to note is that AMC broke above slightly on the daily, came back down today, and found a bounce off of it. It has not done that in a very, very long time. So if AMC bounce off of this key band right here and found support, you're going to see this move. Very likely, you're going to see another violent push to the upside. And it's going to continue to push within around 268 all the way up to 370 or even $4. That will be our key level here, right around 360 something level here. That would be a bullish case scenario because you're currently trying to move above this level here. So yeah. All right, and we had our blue box here for AMC. We called bottom at 88 cents. Came very close, but didn't play out exactly. For Palantir is building out a base here as well. Look at the VPA, pretty bullish VPA. Every time selling happened, has been absorbed. So I think you're going to see same thing with hood as well. I think same pattern you're seeing here with hood building out as I mentioned. So I think you're going to possibly see a breakout as well on Palantir. I want to see a low volume. If you come back here within low volume, and you can see this move play out. So this here would be a move to retest this key level here and break out. At this level here, I wouldn't mind probably jumping into some long shares. We'll see. AVGO played out, but not a spot I will be going long because you could see price come back down and retest this level here. So I'll correct this entire move that you see here. Still can move higher, but still. SOFI, I'm liking SOFI. I actually went long SOFI today, 20% of my position. SOFI on the weekly chart, SOFI has pretty much, we're calling this a blue box area, even though you could still see more downside, obviously. But you're currently finding support on this key level over here. And you're seeing that the VPA is starting to get a bit bullish, stepping in on the weekly. So I could expect to see a bounce in SOFI. Something like this could play out on SOFI. Come back, retest 1670 something, and then break to the upside. Same thing as Palantir pretty much. So hood, Palantir, SOFI, almost have the same kind of setup going. So I went long 20% of my position I added here today with more limit orders to add at 16, I think 1675 if anything. So we'll see how it plays out. If the entire market pulls back, obviously that's bearish for SOFI, but I'm going to be stepping in with proper risk management. GameStop, our key level here for GameStop is this our demand zone. To see GameStop come back within this level and bounce. So we're still looking to see to maybe accumulate within this range for GameStop. Obviously, stop is at GameStop stop. Our stop loss is below $17, 17.50, 17.70, 17.70 for GameStops. Looking to see if to buy more GameStop over here. So we'll see how that works out. IREN is looking decent. Still think you could see some upside on IREN. 95 to 100. This one here is looking pretty decent. Looking for looking for this gap to get filled, find some support, and then break to the upside here at 203. This is for core wave. I think you could see this play out. So this is a good setup I'm looking at for core wave. See some downside here on Dollar General. This is one. We're looking at see some downside here on them. Come back and retest this level here, which is about $82. So playing out with an ABC anywhere within this range, 92 to 75. You could see price come back and retest, and then probably more upside or so. So you're breaking down from this. Turn that off. Yeah. So still think you could see more downside here. Had a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you're correcting. You had an A, B, C, ABC, and now you're correcting that move. So we'll see what it does. This is not one I'm going to be going long yet, but VP, it looks pretty decent. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I think that's it. Let's see, BlackBerry. I think BlackBerry could see a little bit more upside here. I'm already out of BlackBerry. I was long BlackBerry, so I'm already out of BlackBerry. Take my profit. My wife's already also long BlackBerry. She's still holding. She's like 180% gain, so she's probably going to be taking profits here. And just keep some runners. Let's see. Give me a second. For SOFI, yeah. So this here is one our proprietary Elliott Wave software that indicator that I've built. So it's showing that SOFI has completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move to the upside, and it's completed a 3-wave move to the upside. So action, take profit. If you were short, it's telling you to take profit, and because you've completed that ABC wave to the downside. And the next target we're looking at is 22.42 on SOFI. This is the next target is looking for, because then you could start to see that impulse wave to the upside. If you complete that correction, then you could start moving back to the upside here. So we're watching for that, and that is why we have a system. We're following the system. It's not always going to be right, but over time, we have a 73% win rate in the Discord. So that's pretty decent, and you want a high risk to reward. So that's it. That's everything I'm looking at. Pretty much that's the overall market summary analysis and what I'm looking at and what position I took. All right, guys. Talk to you later.